Hey everybody, Pastor Tim Jacobs here, and I am with Jim Fisher, the chairman of our elder board here at Compass Church. And we want to take a few minutes and follow up with you on an important announcement that was made on Sunday, October 13th in all three of our services. The announcement is that I have accepted a position with our denomination to take on the role of what's called district superintendent. Long and the short of it is that I will be resigning from my position as senior pastor at Compass Church. Now, there's a lot of questions I'm sure that many of us have, but I want to start off by saying a few things. First of all, the last 12 years for me and my family here at Compass have been the best of our lives. Judy and I have absolutely loved being here. Our kids have loved being here. And at the same time, we have felt a very serious and strong call to accept a position within our denomination. We're not leaving to necessarily go to greener pastures. I didn't get called to a church in some other state with thousands of people and some great promotion. Really what it is an opportunity for me to work with several hundred churches spread over a 7-state region to kind of help them become more like our church. Churches that care about their community, that are developing healthy leadership, that are reaching out and trying to make disciples. The second thing is that this is very unique in that our family is going to be remaining in the area because the district that I'm going to be involved with includes Arizona. There's no reason for us to move. I love the desert. We've loved the West Valley. We have no plans. Our kids are going to stay in the same school. In fact, we'd like to continue worshiping here at Compass Church. Now, the nature of my position will make it difficult for me to be here because most Sundays, I would be gone. The elders are in agreement with this, and my family's in agreement with this, that this is actually a good step for us and in my own development and moving forward in my life in terms of kingdom impact. So you may be wondering now, well, what do we do as a church, or how does Compass move forward? And so to answer that question and to talk about that, I've asked the chairman of our elder board, Jim Fisher, to share some of his thoughts about what we do going forward. So, Jim.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, and one question obviously, but how do you go about replacing someone like Tim who's been here for 12 years and led us through a lot of growth? Well, it's, as you imagine, it's not easy, and that's why we're hiring a professional firm that's what they do. They find pastors that fit the requirements of the church body. They'll interview tons of people, they'll narrow it down, they finally get it to just a small number of candidates, and we'll work our way through that until we finally get someone that we can present to the church and see if they're going to be the next person that's going to continue to take Compass to be the kind of church that God wants us to be. The next question is, well, how do we function without our leader here? Well, fortunately, as you may have noticed over the last several years, we have a very good team, an executive team. Gabe and Mike have become very adept at their preaching, their teaching, their administration, all these things that make them more and more talented as pastors. And they will be in charge of the staff. In addition, there will be myself and a couple of the other elders. They'll be acting as an oversight type committee. We'll be the liaison between the staff and the elders, and we'll also be communicating with you to keep you up to date on how this search is going. And like I said, this is going to take a while. It's not going to happen, in a couple of weeks. So please be patient, because we're looking to find the guy that God has already identified out there to take over the helm of Compass Church. We just need to find him. And I guess the last thing you're probably wondering is, what do I personally, you out there watching this video right now, how can I be a part of making this whole process work best? And Tim, could you give us some pointers here?
Yeah, well, one of the things that's important to know too is I will be sticking around here until the end of November. And at that point, I'll be stepping out completely. But this is a time between the time that I'm out and the time that Compass gets its next senior pastor. This is a time for you to engage. There are so many exciting events that we have. The block party, we have the holiday season coming up. There are huge and important dates coming up and the opportunities for us to invite our friends and neighbors to this church so they can hear about the gospel. The second thing I'd say is continue to be positive. Some people may come up and ask questions or wonder, what's really going on. There really isn't anything going on other than what we've told you. And some people may even be afraid of the change. Maybe you're even feeling a little bit of that. But I would encourage you, as you're talking to people, just remind them that we have a big God, and the church is his bride, and he takes care of his bride. And so we don't need to worry. That we've always said that the greatest tool that God has to accomplish his mission is the church. And that doesn't change with one person, one leader leaving. In fact, in many ways, I think that our church can become stronger through all of this. And I would hope that throughout all of the emotions that we might be feeling, that you would see this as the congregation sending me into a new role where I will continue to have contact with Compass. Compass is an evangelical free church congregation. And this church is part of the organization that I'm going to be stepping into this role with. And the last thing I'd ask you to do is to pray. Pray for our church, that God would bring the right leader, that God would strengthen Mike and Gabe and the other staff that are going to continue to be here during the interim time, for Jim and for our elder team, and be praying for the next senior pastor of Compass Church. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. We, as a leadership team, and I speak for myself as well, we love you, and I am so grateful for the opportunity that I've had to be your pastor, and I will cherish it till the very last day. But I also know that God has great things in store for us as we continue to seek his will. So thank you.